What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our week 2 match here, taking on Mike and the Tampere Haxorus in the NCL. We do see the Vaporeon and the Hydra. If you haven't seen the team builder, you should go check that out for sure. No Raikou. He actually didn't bring, like, pretty much any ways to deal with Suicune. So I guess he just thought that that was enough in prep. Vaporeon, Crobat, no Crogonal, Palossand did come, which is likely the rocker in this matchup. My Hydra check is Kecleon. I can just lead with Salazzle realistically against everything. If there's a Palossand lead, maybe not so much. Palossand lead worries me. I did bring removal this time, but a Palossand lead definitely worries me. Palossand lead, I would probably want to lead Kecleon against. I wonder what he actually expected. He probably expected Galarian Darm and Coco, and I don't know. Because I thought both of those had good matchups. I could lead Rotom. It would be the best against a Crobat, but worse. It wouldn't be terrible against Palossand, actually. Rotom, Zingzap, Palossand. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing about half, and it can't really touch me unless it's got Shadow Ball of its own, which it probably does. Which is doing actually a fat chunk, and I don't have recovery. So we're not going to go with that, because Rotom is like semi-Mawile check. Shaman lead looks bad against Crobat. Kecleon lead might be okay, actually. All things considered, Kecleon lead might be the best option. Rocks are probably going up in that scenario, though. Can I not just lead Honchkrow? Okay, that actually takes Night Slash really well. How does Crobat take Brave Bird? Not well. Not well at all, actually. I don't really take Brave Bird back very well. We'd kill each other. Definitely considering the Salazzle lead against Crobat. Salazzle. I'm gonna get bodied by Brave Bird pretty quickly. I think I just lead Kecleon here. Yeah, Crobat lead, Kecleon is like the best option for me. Except for the fact that I'm not physically defensive, so I'm gonna go Rotom and see where this takes me. I think it'll probably lead into a Hydra. There's the U-turn, 16. We can scout some damage there. This is banded. Yep, it's banded. So now we know that it's banded. That means I need to keep my Rotom healthy. Hydra coming in is fine. It means that I go Kecleon. Right? Do I go Kecleon or Shaman? Actually, I think I go Shaman this time. I'm relatively physically defensive, so I should be able to tank hits pretty safely from this. I'm not going to kill it with Dazzling Gleam, apparently, though. It could also just U-turn. And we'll get valuable information off of a U-turn, of course. I can always switch into the Vaporeon and get a Giga Drain off. It's a little bit dangerous going into Shaman like all over the place because I don't have innate recovery bar Giga Drain. But Shaman can also switch into Palossand and Giga Drain that. So I've got a few options there. We've scouted out the Crobat and we know that it's banded now, which is good information. It's also very scary information. But it's very good to know in terms of my Honchkrow that I'll outspeed it because it's not Scarf Crobat, which is, I guess, a thing. I'm assuming this to be Scarfed. I'm not running enough speed to be able to outspeed Hydra, so there's no way in hell that I'm staying in on this. I wonder what he's considering. U-turn or Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is like pretty no drawback though against my team. So I feel like Dark Pulse is probably the play most of the time. And I honestly might... Yeah, there it is. 24. So what does that tell us about this? That it's probably timid, max. That would be about right in my mind. So, do you switch into Crobat? Like, I feel like this is Scarfed, and that you switch into Crobat on the Gleam, right? Or do you switch into Mawile? So here's a 50-50 for me, because I think he's switching. So if he switches into Mawile, Earth Power is my play, and if he switches into Crobat, Psychic is my play. Hydra's immune to both of them, so if it's not locked in and goes for U-turn here, then that's honestly valuable information as well, and I should have Dazzling Gleamed, but I'm also not going to outspeed this, so if you switch, what would you switch into? I don't feel like you would switch into Mawile for free, but you might switch into Crobat for free. I wonder if you'd switch into Mew, actually. D-Gleam's a bit of a safer play. I'm thinking that I want to live on the wild side here. He obviously can't kill me. What do I have to deal with Mawile? I have less to deal with Mawile than I have to deal with Crobat. Oh my god, I made the wrong call. I lost that 50-50. So that really sucks. I guess I'm going back into Rotom. Man, I was definitely considering Psychic there, like, heavily. It would have been a fat chunk to this, too. Would have done a fat chunk to this. There's the U-turn again. No surprises. He's locked me into this U-turn, this Volt turn thing here. So instead of going into Shaman on this, I'm going to go Kecleon. And get up my rocks. There's the Dark Pulse. 32. That did a lot more than I expected to Kecleon, actually. It's modest. So then, was that like a low roll modest then? Yeah, it was a low roll modest on my Shaman. Why would you be modest? Because it's not Scarfed? Why would it not be Scarfed against Darm? Weird. Well, definitely regretting not having the Recover on this set now, because Recover would actually be amazing for me right now. But I'm just going to set up my rocks. It'll help me start to chip down that Crobat. Super valuable. Obviously tank another one, so I should be able to tank two, actually. Kecleon. Surprised he went for Dark Pulse again when he just locked me into that play. So, he actually high-rolled me. Now, here's the thing, is Crobat is banded. Choice band. But I'm a rock type. So Brave Bird is doing about half. U-turn is doing also a fat chunk. I could get a knockoff on something. Or I could just go back into Rotom, which I think is also fine. Another U-turn. So we're just in a U-turn lapse. Constantly U-turning. And whatnot. Modest Hydra. Scarf Modest Hydra? I guess it could just be a boosting item. It doesn't have to be modest. He could have expected Banded Darm, maybe. And he's going with a boosting item like Black Glasses. I don't think it makes that much sense, though. So getting my rocks up there is actually pretty crucial for just dealing with this Crobat. Because we know that it's not heavy-duty boots. but he's been wearing me down because I got the lead wrong, and then I got the prediction wrong on the Crobat. That would have been a really clutch prediction, getting this to 50 with the Psychic. In comes the Hydra again, to nobody's surprise. And we don't see leftovers, that's good knowledge. I'd probably just go Shaman again. I can still bring it in kind of safely on both the Vaporeon and Palisand, and Kecleon is still really valuable for me against the Mew. It's probably Infiltrator, Banded Crobat, which means that my Garchomp's not really in a position to be doing much against that. I think I go Shaman here. I wonder if he U-turns this time. Dark Pulse again. So, fair play. I'm actually just going to Dazzling Gleam. Predicting him to stay in this time. Because he's made the same play every single turn. That me clicking Psychic here feels really obvious on the Crobat switch in, and he's seen Earth Power from me, so he doesn't want to switch into Mawile. But he can get in Mawile for free basically afterwards, and I have to pick a sack. I'll probably go hard Salazzle. Do I live a hit from Mawile with Salazzle? I mean, I don't live a knockoff. And I don't live anything into Sucker Punch. So I kind of have to get Mawile, or Salazzle in for free, I guess. I don't know what I would sack then to the Mawile if I'm picking one. Maybe Garchomp. It doesn't really offer me too much, especially considering I think that's Scarf Hydra. Okay, Mew comes in. See the Dazzling Gleam, 19%. It's not bulky. That is very, very offensive Mew. If it's Dragon Dance, I go Garchomp if it's Dragon Dance. It's not Dragon Dance, but Psyshock is good to know. Can I stay in regular form against this? I probably can, right? Earthquake's not going to do that much. Ice Beam is a worthy prediction. I'm going to go hard Kecleon. Based on how offensive it is. Actually, let's calc the Psyshock damage. So it did 32.5. Which means it's also Modest Mew. Wow, he really did not care about Darmanitan. And this doesn't even outspeed... This won't even outspeed Mega Chomp. Like, my Mega Chomp is going to outspeed this. Kecleon's going to take a lot from a Psyshock if he goes for Psyshock again. I think my best play is arguably to actually just stay in. I'll outspeed Modest Hydra too. I wonder if it's just a Toxic. Okay, so here's the thing. This could be Scarf Mew as well. Maybe Sub is my play. No, Sub is never a play actually with Infiltrator Crobat. Sub is never a play. Dragon Claw is a valid play against everything but Mawile, but why would you do that? You're probably going either Crobat or Hydra. I guess you could also go Vaporeon. Maybe Toxic is the play. Catches a Vaporeon or a Palisand if he's defensively reaching on that one. This could definitely be Scarf Mew. There's a world where this is Scarf Mew. He's modest on both Mew and Hydra, which is really interesting. I don't think you go hard Mawile on me because Earthquake is a valid play that I could make. And even if you do, I'm not sure if -1 Chomp just doesn't kill outright afterwards. So he'd have to be making like doubles into Mawile and then Crobat or something. Like if I'm intimidated, then I mean I do half, but if I go Mega, well I'm still not killing, so it's a valid play I guess. I think Toxic is my play here. to catch the Vaporeon or the Palisand. I don't think you'd risk Crobat when it's clearly shown that it's going to do a lot of damage to my team. And Brave Bird is actually in a position to maybe yeah, Palisand comes in. So about what you would expect. What I'm going to do to this is just sub. I think. Right? Is that my play? I could also go Shaman and click Giga Drain. I think it's too early for that. I valued my rocks. He's going to get his rocks up. I'm going Honchkrow. So now he's in a little bit of a precarious position. Night Slash switch in is purely Mawile. Honchkrow, Mawile. Which is taking almost nothing from Night Slash. So I'm actually just going to Heat Wave, predicting the Mawile. I mean, Hydra could also take the Night Slash, I guess. So showing that I have Heat Wave this early is maybe a little bit of a risky move. But if I can catch the Mawile on this, then it's 100% worth it. Vaporeon, okay. So I severely fucked up, clearly. 8%. I should have just gone for Night Slash. Yeah, that's about what you expect from just like physically defensive Vaporeon. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna go Rotom, actually. And then I'm gonna Volt Switch. Because Volt Switch is actually free for me. If the Palisand comes in, it does not matter at all. He's thrown up the Wish, so he's not going to click Heal Bell. He might click Protect here, which would be a fine play. I really have no reason. He hasn't seen any moves from me, though, so he should maybe be a little bit scared. He's probably seen how defensive I am, though. I'm not sure if rocks benefit me more or less in this game. I can go Shaman, I can Giga Drain. In theory, I get enough health back that it's usable. Except against Crobat, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't get enough health back to deal with rocks damage. I'm getting really worn down this game. And I'm regretting not bringing Recover on my Kecleon a lot. Mawile hasn't Mega'd. Vaporeon was a pretty safe play, actually. Although I could have two-shot it with Brave Bird, so if I'd gone for Brave Bird, then that would maybe be a little bit sketchy. Brave Bird was a reasonably safe play against the Palisand, actually. I probably should have just gone for that. I got a little bit too greedy going for the Heat Wave on the Mawile. Mew comes in. Okay, so Mew's going to get the Wish, but maybe we find out 23% from my Rotom. So now I've got him in a sense where I want him. This is 100% no bulk. It could absolutely be Scarfed and running Ice Beam. I'm going to get rid of an item here on something, or the Mawile is coming in, and I get a little bit of chip. Chip. A little bit of chip. It's definitely 100% offensive, modest Mew. So, modest max speed, what is that even outspeeding? Maybe Suicune? It's probably not max speed, but could be outspeeding Suicune. I don't know why he's modest. It's very strange that his Mew and his Hydra are both modest in this game, when I have a Galarian Darmanitan. I don't know, maybe he was expecting Galarian Darm to creep like Breloom? Or Magmortar, and then in that case modest makes sense if he's like creeping Galarian Darm, creeping Magmortar. That could be a thing. If I didn't need the speed to outspeed Crobat, that is. Okay, so Mawile does come in. I'm going to knock off here, but I will be slower, which sucks. I crit, though, which is something. So this sucks a lot because I would love to just Fire Punch this, but it's going to outspeed me and click Player Huff. Player Huff into Sucker will kill Salazzle. I'm going Salazzle, fuck it. 31. I know I died a Sucker. I'm clicking sub. No. Is that a bad play? I know I did Sucker. Why am I clicking sub? The Crobat's just going to kill me through sub anyways, and then I will not be healthy enough. Actually, I guess I could Protect, and then I'd be healthy enough to switch in on rocks again, which gives me a sack. So maybe sub is the play. Ah ha ha ha! I'm going to click Flamethrower now. And click Protect this turn. And I claim one here. He's not going to want to put me in a position where I'm behind a sub unless he really feels like he's in a good position with Crobat. So we're going to be able to kill the Palatine, which is fine. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It means my Shaman can't heal up on that, so that's probably yikes. Probably just Protect on most things. I definitely Protect on you. I know you're banded. Brave Bird. I think I might want to just sack my Chomp to this. Is that the play? Like, I suspect that both of those are Scarfed is the problem here, and I might be in a... Like, I might just lose because both of those are Scarfed, honestly. I don't want to go Rotom for free. I think I have to sack something. Chip on Crobat or chip on Mawile is the question. Brave Bird is like really free for him. It claims a kill here because I know it's banded. So he gets a trade kill 100% of the time. He gets a trade kill. But it leads to me going Rotom and getting to Volt Switch for free after I stack something. Now that the Mawile is Mega, I want to calc the knockoff damage really quickly here, actually. Sort of, it makes up my mind about how I want to play my Honchkrow, if I just want to be a Brave Bird spamming Honchkrow this game. Mawile. Knockoff crit would ignore Intimidate anyways. 21. I mean, it's like... Is that a roll? So 21's a roll for max HP. So let's assume it's max HP. It probably doesn't have any defense, okay? If it's Mega Evolving... No, that's not my set. It's still taking fatty damage from Brave Bird. There, we die, but we'll get the rough skin damage off. And he takes a ton of recoil, which leads me to go Rotom. And... I wonder if Shadow Ball is actually my play. No, I think Hydra's the switch in. I think Hydra makes the most sense as the switch in here, and so Shadow Ball shouldn't be my play. Because Shadow Ball is a viable play if he's going Mew, or if he's going Mawile, because I would want to stay in on a Mawile switch, but I don't think he's going Mawile here. I don't think he wants to let it take any damage. Vaporeon doesn't make any sense. You're either sacking Crobat here to get more damage against my Rotom, or you're going Hydra to resist the hit. And what happens if he goes Hydra? What do I do? He's seen Dazzling Gleam on my Shaman. Hydra would just drop a Draco on Honchkrow. I guess if he goes Hydra, I go Salazzle. No, I'd probably go Kecleon. And... Toxic? Fire Punch? This is a rough deal for him. Maybe Will-O-Wisp is actually my play here. See, okay, so here's the thing, right? Is that if Mew comes in and I Will-O-Wisp it, then that's really bad for me. I could also defog. What can I set rocks up against? I can't set rocks up against a lot with Kecleon. It's a pretty difficult situation for me. I don't want a Will-O-Wisp because I don't think Mawile is coming in, but it might be the best play against the Hydra. I don't know. Hydra coming in makes the most sense to me. Dark Pulse is just going to obliterate me. Draco, there's no way in hell that it's not just killing my Honchkrow. Honchkrow is so weak, yeah. I guess we'd find out if it was Scarf or not, but I think Honchkrow is still pretty valuable for me. Well, to an extent, valuable. Volt Switch is doing negligible damage. But if it's Scarf, then it's not going to roost, and rocks are chipping away at it and whatnot too. Mawile comes in, so... not the scenario that I wanted, to say the least. Like, that's pretty much exactly the opposite of what I wanted to happen, and Shadow Ball was my play there to burn this. I'm really surprised he didn't go Hydra. He might not have Sucker, but that doesn't really make sense. Like, you'd want to have Sucker against Galarian Darm. So I think he's got Sucker Punch for sure, especially for Salazzle. And most of my team outspeeds Mawile. Like, naturally, he doesn't have a Trick Room aspect to the team that he brought this week, so Sucker Punch makes a lot of sense. So I don't really want to go Salazzle and play the Sucker Punch mind games. I could go Shaman, which won't die. Shaman, Mawile. It's semi in range of Earth Power. I don't die to Sucker, but I die to something afterwards. I think I go Shaman, actually. I don't really see another play. So I'm in with Shaman. Sucker Punch is not going to kill me. Almost anything else would. Hydra's not going to kill me. Crobat would. But I'm just going to click Earth Power because Hydra's not killing me and I can Dazzling Gleam it afterwards. And if he brings in Crobat, then he's taking more Rock Chip and that threat is going to be out of the way. So I'm going to Earth Power here. Will Mew kill me with Psyshock? If it's offensive, modest, Psyshock. I'm actually in range of Fire Blast, which is a yikes. So if Mew switches in on the Earth Power, like, because I would want to Giga Drain on that. And I would want to Giga Drain the Vaporeon. He's not going to give me a position to Giga Drain the Vaporeon. I think I just have to give up Shaman at some point here. And it's going to be Earth Powering this Mawile, which either leads to a kill on Hydra, because Hydra cannot kill me from this range, I don't think. Actually, it might be able to with Draco. Ah, I am in range of Draco. 37.5. The lowest roll is 37.9. But if he does that, what's my play then? If he goes Hydra, I think my play is still to click Dazzling Gleam and either hope for a Draco miss or hope that he clicks Dark Pulse. I don't think Draco's necessarily his best play. He's still rocking up rocks damage on everything. If he goes Crobat, then again, that's a fine play. And I probably just go Rotom. I need something to be able to deal with Vaporeon, or Vaporeon's just going to beat me. It'll beat down my Honchkrow eventually. In fact, Scald might actually just OHKO my Honchkrow with Rocks Up because of how weak this thing is defensively. And I'm also naive. Well, it's not going to completely OHKO me, but it'll OHKO me with 2 rounds of Brave Bird, so that's not really a viable option. Although Brave Bird is with Rocks Up, it's probably a likely 2... Oh, it's not even that much of a 2 KO. We've seen leftovers on it, right? Yeah. Well, it's at 92 now. So now it's a decent chance to kill after Rocks and Leftovers. But I have to lock in a Brave Bird for that, so... In comes the Crobat. These plays, he takes forever, and then I don't get it. I'm just going Rotom. Like, this is either dying to Rocks at some point. It might defog here, to be fair. I think it's probably going to want a Brave Bird. My Shaman's going to be in range of Sucker Punch at some point. Like, there's not really much I can do about that, I don't think, anymore. I'm in range of a bunch of stuff because I've just been switching in and out and in and out and in and out. The early game just did not go my way at all, and I kind of brought it back into a position where Salazzle could do something. But I just want this Crobat to kill itself. And Shaman isn't that valuable because Raikou didn't show up, Breloom didn't show up. Those were the 2 main things that I was trying to check with Shaman anyways. I mean, it was a Hydra response, but I didn't expect it to be modest Hydra. Like, that's such a problem for me, is that this is a modest Hydra. The speed creep doesn't make sense to me, so I'll have to ask him afterwards why he did that. Timid just... Like, why even risk not outspeeding Galarian Darmanitan? I don't get it. Unless he really thought that I was going to be the other Darmanitan. Okay, so we double down. Pretty sure he, like, near max rolled my Rotom for that, by the way. Because this thing is definitely jolly to speed type Coco. Well, it was a mid-roll. Did 40.9, so mid-roll then. Besides the point, is Honchkrow not my play? I guess not if Hydra's his play, right? So if I go Kecleon here, it's super valuable for me. But if I go Kecleon here against the Mawile, do I just die to play rough? Yep. So maybe Salazzle's my best play then. Worst case, I get a Toxic on the Vaporeon. Well, I mean, worst case, I get a Toxic on something, right? Or was going back into Shaman my play? Psyshock Mew, 26 to 30. Yeah, I'll be in range. I'll be at 25 with Shaman. So I'm in range of the Psyshock from this Mew with Shaman, which means that Shaman is pretty much just sack fodder. Or a double down scenario with Vaporeon. I could take the more offensive approach and go Honchkrow here. But it might lead to him being able to pass a Wish into Mawile. I could see a couple turns later he'd be able to pass a Wish into Mawile pretty freely. I think Salazzle's my best play, actually. Now, I do think this is Scarfed, so I'm going to Protect and see what it wants to go for. And if it's Scarf, it'll stay in. I think. That would make the most sense to me. He could also just go hard Vaporeon now that he knows that I have Protect. It's the risk that you take. Is it worthwhile for me to find out if this is Scarfed or not? Flamethrower's not doing that much. Psyshock's obviously going to kill me. I mean, if he switches and I fail to Protect, I just Protect on whatever's next. Except Mawile, I Flamethrower that. Okay. I'm convinced this thing is Scarfed, and I'm going into my Honchkrow. And I'm clicking Brave Bird. It's a roll in my favor to two-shot the Vaporeon. The Mawile's getting two-shot. You can't stay in. Like, cannot stay in against me. Because Psyshock's doing nothing. Okay, Mawile's getting two-shot. Thing is getting two-shot. Sucker does a fair chunk to me. If he has it, he goes for it. The way he's played both... Okay, he doesn't have it. Okay, then. So I'm +1 attack now. I don't think that means anything, to be honest. Wait, what? What is this doing? Why are you doing this? So here's the thing. Kecleon can still beat Mew, but I can't beat Hydra, I don't think. So I think I lose. I'm +1 attack against Fizdef Vaporeon, because let's assume it's that. Let's just assume it's Fizdef. It didn't have any special defense against me. +1 Brave Bird does a fatty chunk to this. If this has Ice Beam, I guess it would kill me. So maybe that's what he's playing around. Well, I get some health back on my Shaman now, which is good. It's not going to be against the Vaporeon. You've seen Dazzling Gleam. Hydra's so free. Why would I make that play, you know? Giga Drain is, I think, optimal here. Because Wish passing into either of those is irrelevant at this point in the game. Mawile dead is really good for me. And Honchkrow alive still means that the Mew can't lock itself into a Psychic move like Psyshock. It's definitely Scarf Mew. Definitely is Scarf Mew. It would have lived the Brave Bird there. I mean, he could have been scared of the Dark move, and that's why he went Mawile. He's preserving this Hydra so much. And yet he went Vaporeon instead of Hydra. Like, Hydra could have got a kill. Well, yes, I'm still here. Continue watching. This game's gone on for so long that music has to ask me if I'm still watching. Yeah, almost 40 minutes now. This is a game with Mike, to be honest. Like, you can't get around that. He takes a billion years. If he goes Hydra, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have another play. So what's the point? He's got double Scarfers. Like, Salazzle is so worthless to me right now. He goes Mew! Alright, well, I get some recovery back. I'm still at a point where Psyshock is going to kill me. But we need to find out what this is going to go for. So I'm going to Giga Drain again. Mew is such a weird play. I guess he values Hydra more than Mew in this matchup. I don't know why. My Kecleon's getting 2-shot by Psyshock after Rocks, so I cannot do that. I can't go hard into that, but I would probably click Toxic. The next time I'm in with Kecleon, he's seen Knockoff. Maybe I'd click Knockoff first. Letting my Shaman heal up is a little bit sus. But he's not letting it heal up against the Vaporeon, so... nasty plot. Giga Drain did about what you'd expect. It's modest. Scarf. Psychic. This continuously has Psychic over Psyshock. Oh, I'm not in range of Psyshock. But I'm in range of Fire Blast. Ow. So I guess we'll see if the Hydra comes in here. I might get enough recovery to live... Well, I would get enough recovery to live a Dark Pulse from the Hydra for sure. Right, we'll find out what this has. If it's got Ice Beam, like I expect it will, then I'm actually... a max roll would kill me. 142. I'm currently at 143. So yeah, he has to max roll me with Ice Beam to kill me. If he's got Ice Beam, if he's got Fire Blast, then it kills me. I'm in range of every Fire Blast roll. If he goes Hydra, it's taking more chip, and I might be in range to Dazzling Gleam at that point, and Shaman can kind of just stay in on a lot of stuff. Like, Shaman could stay in on all of these. I don't know what coverage the Mew has, but I know I can live a Psyshock, which is the only knowledge I have. So it's weird to me that he went Mew and is now thinking really hard about what he has to do, because he only had, like, that was the play that he chose to make, and now, like, he had all that time to think about what he was going to do afterwards. Okay, Psyshock, so we live the Psyshock. I'm not going to live 2. There's no chance I live 2, but Honchkrow is a pretty free. Switch in on the Psyshock again. He can't go Mew again. I know he's Scarfed. 30.8, by the way. I'm pretty sure that rounded up. Because I went down from 143 to 66. It's not Scarfed this entire time. Not Scarfed this entire time, guys. Holy crap. Alright, well, I don't get it, but I am curious about this. 143 minus 66, 77. That's not possible. I could not have been at 66. It did 30.8, though, which is weird. I don't know what item this is. Kind of want to go Salazzle. And I'm just going to click Flamethrower. And he goes Vaporeon, so I'm clicking Toxic. And he kills me. That's fine. I go Shaman. I click Giga Drain. I really wish I had Recover on Calculator. I lose this game, by the way. Yeah. I could have clicked Dazzling Gleam there, but I lose this game. So I'm going to click it now. I'm going to die to this. Kecleon might be able to 1v1. I don't know. Dragon Pulse. Definitely wish I had Recover right now. Because I'm going to die to 2 of these. So I'm not going to die to 2 of these, actually. But I'll stem the bleeding. He's not even Scarf Hydra! What?! I don't get it! He bluffed both of them as Modest Scarf. He had no checks to Galarian Darm besides Vaporeon. What is this game? Why? He was outspeeding Suicune with both? Alright, I'm blown away. Like, this endgame just fucked me up mentally. I just have no fucking words about how this endgame went. Mike played immaculately, clearly. A lot of those plays, I lost a bunch of 50-50s early game. If I'd psychicked that Crobat, I would have been in a lot less danger. It would have killed itself on the first Brave Bird, and I still would have had Rotom alive. I'm very surprised that he went hard into Mawile on the Rotom instead of going Hydra. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. Maybe he expected Disarming Voice Rotom or something. Very strange play. I wanted to be in against the Mawile and burn it, but it only got one hit off this entire game anyways. He bluffed Modest Scarf on the Mew and the Hydra twice. Or many, many times on both of them. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's going to be for me. What a fucking shit show of a game that was. I'm actually a little bit annoyed that he took all of that time every single time. This would have been a perfect game to have timer because we're at like 46 minutes now. But that's going to be for me. I will catch you guys next week when we take on Magic in the New York Meloettas.